Okay, imagine this. A smartwatch that could keep going for nearly 2 months on just one charge.
2 months. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Right. Okay, so let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really zeroing in on Zblaze smartwatches. You've sent over a couple of, well, really interesting sources. We've got an article excerpt looking at the company's background and one specific model.
Right.
And then a product page that's just packed with details on a different, more advanced one.
Got it.
So our mission today, to basically sift through all this, pull out the most interesting, the most useful bits about Zblaze, try and understand what makes them stand out in this very crowded smartwatch market.
And it's fascinating, right off the bat, how quickly Zblaze has grown.
Yeah.
Founded, 2014? In Shenzhen, China. And in less than a decade, they've become a pretty significant name. That kind of growth, it really suggests they're hitting the mark, finding what users are actually looking for.
Absolutely. So that first piece you mentioned, it introduces the Zblaze GTS, described as, sleek, well-designed. And it has all the health and fitness tracking you'd expect.
Standard stuff these days, yeah.
But here's the interesting bit, the twist. It's got a built-in speaker.
Oh, for calls.
Exactly. Think about, quickly answering a call without even grabbing your phone, just straight from the wrist.
Huh. That is interesting. That built-in speaker, that's definitely a key differentiator for something like the GTS.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I mean, in a market just flooded with options, right? That direct calling capability, it adds this layer of, real-world convenience that I bet a lot of users would find super appealing.
Right.
Kind of blurs the lines, doesn't it, between just a standard smartwatch and, a more integrated communication device.
Yeah, totally. Now let's pivot a bit. Let's look at that second source.
Okay.
The product page for the Zblaze Stratos 2 Ultra GPS smartwatch. This one. It feels like it's aimed at a slightly different user than the GTS, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Where the GTS seems more focused on, say, everyday style and that unique calling feature. The Stratos 2 Ultra looks tailored for someone who's maybe more active, more data hungry.
Right.
It boasts, a 1.43-inch HD AMOLED display. That HD right in the name suggests a really sharp, vibrant screen.
And AMOLED screens are great, right? Good contrast, safe power.
Exactly. Known for excellent contrast, and they are pretty energy efficient too.
And the GPS on this thing.
Wow.
It sounds seriously impressive.
How so?
Accurate GPS, it says. Dual band GNSS. And support for 6 different satellite systems.
6, okay.
Yeah, GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, NAVIC, QZSS, and BDS. That's a lot of connections flying overhead.
It really is. And, think about why that matters.
Yeah.
That level of multi-satellite support, it translates directly to much more reliable, more accurate location tracking.
Especially in tricky spots.
Exactly. Think dense forests or, big cities with tall buildings or lowering canyons, places where a single GPS signal might struggle.
That makes sense.
So for anyone who loves hiking, trail running, exploring, this is a pretty significant advantage.
And that dual band thing.
Oh, right. Dual band GNSS essentially means it can lock onto satellite signals on 2 different frequencies.
Ah, okay.
Which makes the connection more stable, less prone to interference from things like buildings or even heavy tree cover, more robust.
Gotcha. Okay. And the health tracking features seem just as comprehensive.
What have they got?
Well, continuous heart rate monitoring, sleep tracking, SpO2 levels, that's the blood oxygen.
Right. Blood oxygen saturation.
Stress level monitoring, guided breathing exercises, even menstrual cycle tracking. It's like a whole personal health dashboard right there.
Yeah.
And that SpO2, for those of us who aren't doctors, it gives you an idea of oxygen levels in your blood, right? Useful during workouts or sleep.
Precisely. It can be a useful metric to keep an eye on, especially during strenuous activity or even just overnight.
And the number of sport modes. It's kind of nuts.
How many?
Over 170 different activities listed.
Wow. 170 plus.
Yeah, with smart recognition for common ones. Walking, running, cycling, elliptical, rowing machine, just standing still even.
Smart recognition is handy.
But it goes way beyond that. Things like outdoor cycling, indoor swimming, trail running, yoga, tons of stuff.
Okay, so it really suggests a watch that's designed to keep up with a huge variety of fitness interests.
Yeah.
Whatever you're into, basically.
Exactly. And this thing sounds tough. Seriously tough.
Oh, yeah. How so?
It's got 10 ATM water resistance, so dive-proof, essentially.
10 ATM, okay. Good for swimming then.
And it meets 15 US MIL STD 810H certifications for durability.
The military standard.
Plus, it's built with 316L stainless steel and a high-strength metal unibody and topped with Corning Gorilla Glass.
Okay, so it's built like a tank.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
This isn't a watch you have to baby. And that MIL STD 810H thing, that means it's been tested against a whole range of environmental stresses, right?
Exactly. Things like extreme temperatures, shock, vibration. It's built to handle some pretty rough conditions, not just scratches, but actual impacts in harsh environments.
Makes sense for an outdoor watch.
Absolutely. That level of ruggedness is a major plus. Combining that water resistance enough for swimming with military-grade durability, it means it can likely handle, well, pretty much whatever adventures you throw at it.
Now let's talk power, keeping it going. The battery life on this Stratos 2 Ultra, it's pretty incredible.
How incredible are we talking?
Get this, up to 60 days in battery saver mode.
60.
60.
Yep.
And 30 days of training time if you use the power save modes. Even with like regular heavy usage, it can last around 18 days.
Wow. 18 days heavy use is still amazing. What's the battery size?
500 mAh battery. And when it does need juice, 0 to full in just 1.5 hours. Magnetic charger.
Okay, that definitely beats the nightly charging ritual most other smartwatches demand.
Right.
That extended battery life is it's a massive advantage, especially if you're doing longer trips, maybe backpacking, camping.
Yeah, places without easy charging access.
Exactly. It really reduces that, that battery anxiety that can sometimes come with relying on wearable tech.
Totally. And beyond the core tracking, it's just loaded with other handy features too.
Like what?
Well, there's a built-in compass, a barometric altimeter.
Ah, good for hiking, elevation.
Right. Navigation, tracking elevation changes. Then there's Bluetooth 5.3 for making and taking calls, just like the GTS.
Okay, so it keeps that convenience factor.
Yep. Smartphone assistance for voice commands, controlling music, your phone's camera, notifications, Find My Phone, all that stuff.
Standard smart features, good.
Plus practical tools. World clock, weather sync for a whole week, a flashlight, calculator, even password setting.
It really is like a wrist-worn toolkit.
Pretty much. Raise to wake, various power-saving modes, do not disturb. It's all in there.
And that compass and barometric altimeter, those are particularly valuable for outdoor stuff, aren't they?
Definitely. Hiking, climbing provides essential data for navigation, understanding your environment.
Yeah. And having those smartphone assistance features integrated offers that everyday convenience too, so it's kind of bridging both worlds.
It also seems to play nicely with different phone ecosystems.
Android and iOS.
Yep. Compatible with Android 5.0 or later, iOS 11 and up. It uses an app called GloryFit Pro.
GloryFit Pro, okay.
And it syncs your workout data with Apple Health and Strava.
Oh, nice. That integration with established platforms like Apple Health and Strava, that really expands its usefulness, especially for people already using those.
Yeah, it makes it easier to slot into your existing routine.
Yeah.
And interestingly, the product page notes that GloryFit Pro app has over 500,000 downloads.
500,000 plus. Okay, that gives a clearer sense of its user base, not some obscure app.
Right. And for people who like to, make their tech their own.
Customization.
Yeah, the Stratos 2 Ultra supports customizable watch faces, over 20 always-on display options, besides the 7 default system faces.
That's pretty good. That level of personalization is definitely a key trend. Lets you tailor the look and feel to your own style.
Okay, so circling back to that Banggood product page, it looks like the Stratos 2 Ultra has been really well received by users.
That's reviews.
Very good, averaging 4.85 out of 5 stars.
Wow, that's high. Based on how many reviews?
177 reviews. And get this, 92.1% of those are 5-star ratings.
92%. Okay, that's a pretty strong vote of confidence from actual buyers.
Definitely suggests a high level of satisfaction. Of course, you always consider the source of online reviews, but still.
No, absolutely. That percentage is indicative. People seem to really like it.
And the page itself highlights those key features we talked about.
Yeah.
Compass, Bluetooth calling, multi-sport, barometer.
Reinforces the main selling point.
Confirms you get the user manual, charging cable in the box, standard stuff. But digging into the Q&A section brings up some practical points.
Oh, like what?
Well, for instance, they advise against using it for, professional swimming, even though it's water resistant. Says it's not designed specifically for that.
Okay. So, good for splashes, maybe laps, but not serious diving or swim training, perhaps. Good clarification.
And they also clarify that The health data heart rate, SysBO2, it's for general wellness tracking, reference only, shouldn't be used for medical diagnosis.
Yeah, that's a standard disclaimer for pretty much all consumer wearables.
Yeah.
Important to set realistic expectations. Those Q&A insights are really valuable for potential buyers.
Definitely helps manage expectations about what the watch can and can't do. It also mentions support for a wide variety of UI and app languages, which is good for international users.
Broad appeal.
Okay, so bringing this all together, after this deep dive into these Zblaze watches, what are the main takeaways? What really stands out?
Well, if we compare the two models we looked at.
The GTS and the Stratos 2 Ultra.
Right. The Zblaze GTS, it seems like a solid, everyday smartwatch.
Yeah.
Sleek design, good basic tracking, but with that added bonus, that convenience of taking calls right from your wrist.
Kind of an entry point with a neat trick.
Exactly. Then you have the Zblaze Stratos 2 Ultra, and that really positions itself as a much more robust, feature-packed option.
Yeah, feels different.
It's specifically designed, it seems, for people leading more active, maybe outdoor lifestyles who want really in-depth health and fitness tracking. It's interesting how Zblaze is apparently catering to these two pretty distinct user types within the market.
Yeah, not just one size fits all. And that Stratos 2 Ultra's battery life, that's definitely a standout feature, especially compared to so many others needing that daily charge.
Oh, absolutely. That's huge.
This really is a significant advantage.
For sure. And when you combine that amazing battery life with its ruggedness, that military-grade durability, and the comprehensive set of features, the GPS, the health tracking, and the sport modes, the Stratos 2 Ultra offers a really compelling package, especially for users who need a smartwatch that can genuinely keep up with demanding activities without constantly needing a power outlet.
So hopefully after all that, you've got a much clearer picture now of what Zblaze is offering with these two, well, quite different smartwatches.
Yeah, distinct offerings for sure.
Okay, so to wrap up, a final thought for you to ponder. With smartwatch tech advancing so quickly and seeing the kinds of features companies like Zblaze are packing in already, what truly new capabilities do you think we might realistically see in wearables, say, in the near future? And maybe, how might these devices become even more seamlessly woven into the fabric of our daily lives? Something to think about.